Hey there. Do you recognize the feeling that you're working on a creative food project and you're excited about the potential, but after a while you feel paralyzed, simply overwhelmed, because you actually are able to see the huge impact that food has on the world? You understand that food is connected to the largest challenges of our time. Think about climate change, think about pollinator decline, think about loss of biodiversity, antibiotic resistance, a polluted ocean, pesticides, animal welfare, obesity, and these are just like a few things. And you might be aware of all these issues, and it means that when you actually can come up with a positive project or positive ideas about food, and maybe you use design thinking for that, that you can have a wonderful impact on this world. But it also means that it is kind of overwhelming. You might believe that you have to know everything about a project to actually do a project on a certain topic. You might believe that you need to have a strong and carefully developed opinion to make a relevant project on food and design. Well, I used to think that, and I used to think that I needed to address all these issues in one project. But these kind of thinkings made my project quite complex and not necessarily very relevant, mostly very complex. And I started to think about, how do we address these things? How can we be relevant in all creative projects with food without it making too complex or paralyzing for ourselves, overwhelming? These are big issues. And there are several things that I found that made me able to work with these issues. And I found them through my own practice, but also through my teaching of other people that work with food and design. Because I think initially there are lots of issues, but obviously you don't have to solve all these issues as one. The other thing is that I think that having an opinion can actually block other people from creating their own opinion. So sometimes just by being open and to explore a project, you can enable the other person, the person that's interacting with your project, to actually shape their own opinion on the topic. So I think actually it's more important to have an open mind than to have a well-shaped opinion. So imagine that you are actually able to deal with large issues, that you are actually able to use clarity and focus and an open, explorative mentality to create projects that can make a difference in the world, to create projects that are very relevant and at the same time not paralyzing, not overwhelming, but just filling you with joy and excitement to actually make projects that contribute to this world. And one of the ways, and I have a few methods that I use to actually understand how you can take larger issues and use them in your work. But one of the ways that I use a lot is when you have a huge issue that is completely complex and overwhelming, to not try and grasp the whole issue at once, but first to make it small, make it relatable, give it a human size and shape, and then start to work from there. That's one of the various methods that I use to make my work more tangible more relatable, and still very relevant for the world. If you're interested to know more about that, I am actually starting an online course on December the 3rd. I'll post a link about that below this video. So if you'd like to know more about that, if you'd like to find ways to deal with this ungraspable in a very tangible, fun, excited and relevant way, then this might be something for you to have a look at. So that's it for today. Bye!